So this is the Khoodeelaar television channel, broadcasting under the banner of Baby Angel Geronimo editions at 10:40 GMT on Saturday, the 15th of July 2023. 15th of July, Saturday, 1989 was the day when we, the people protesting against police inaction over the murders of Esmoth Ali and his close relation Watir Ali in their flat situated parallel to Brick Lane in a street called Flower and Dean Walk. The previous weekend, the 9th of July, 1989, when into the police time green procession. Among the procession participants, there was a demand for the immediate release of the people that had been arrested. When they were not released, the clamor for their arrest got louder and louder, to the point where by the time that the procession reached what was then the Sun pub, which is just before going east, just before the corner junction between Wilmore Street and Bethnal Green Road, the people became very agitated. And it was very clear to me that if the agitation was not calmed down, there would be serious violence in the street. So, in order to do two things, one was to get the police to note the determined demand by the participants so that the police would reasonably behave and let the arrestees off, and also to contain any likelihood of physical violence spreading that might do damage to anyone. I took over the microphone because nobody was actually leading the demonstration. So there are three things. I took over the microphone and then I gave a clear, concise, fact-based speech in which I asked the people demonstrating to sit down. So the people sat down and we were sitting down and I was speaking when the territorial reserve, the paramilitary part of the military, the London Metropolitan Police, arrived without any notice. No policeman talked to me, although it was quite clear that I was leading the campaign at that point. So suddenly there was a physical attack mounted from all sides on the people sitting in the middle of the Bethnal Green Road. That was today 1989, 15th of July, Saturday, 1989. So the police started arresting people, right, left, and center. And anyone who hasn't been in a situation that happened on that day would not know just how alarming that can be to people who are not used to witnessing police arresting, mass arrests. So the people estimated, various people who were there and who were either being arrested or had not yet been arrested. Spoke to and people who observed these estimated that about 50 people at least 50 people were arrested. So you can imagine the number of people that were actually there. If there were 50 people arrested, then the actual participant number would be several hundred people, if not 1,000 or more. And the overwhelming majority of the people, of course, were Bangladeshis and Bangladeshi young males. And a number of them were so angry with the Bangladesh Welfare Association, which had apparently called the actual rally at the Altab Ali Park. Feared road. Have been like between midday and 1 o'clock, I would say. A number of young people were so angry with the Bangladesh Welfare Association that I had to really physically accompany them on foot all the way from Bethnal Green Road to Cambridge Heath Road to Whitechapel Road to Brick Lane to stop them physically going and attacking the Welfare Association office at 39 Fournier Street. They really, one of them or two of them said that they would burn down the welfare house. So outraged were they with the failure of discipline and leadership and direction. And they felt betrayed and they called names. I'm not naming the individual they named, but the individual they named are identifiable and they called them Beiman, Sur, and so on. So I had to calm them down and I had to stop them going and attacking. So that was on Saturday, the 15th of July, 1989. Eventually, we turned into Hanbury Street. So remember, we're going to Brick Lane on foot from Bethnal Green Road, turn right into Cambridge Heath Road, go all the way to the junction where Cambridge Heath Road meets the Whitechapel Road, and then turn right again. And we walk all the way from that corner into Brick Lane, and then go into Osborne Street, into Osborne Street, and then going to Osborne Street into Brick Lane, and then there we continue walking past the Fournier Street and into the Hanbury Street to the right. And we had a meeting which I think lasted about an hour or so. The meeting was spontaneous, un kind of announced. It was just a spontaneous meeting. People are very outraged and emotional, and they wanted to find out, most of the participants find out what we were going to do as a result.